welcome back to the Fuck My Work Life podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back. How is everyone doing?
I'm nervous.
Are you nervous?
No.
It's episode 6.
It is.
And we're like...
That's a milestone.
Is it?
Well, I mean...
It's something.
So will next week be.
So will next week be?
Shut up.
Hi everyone. We have kind of been doing this the past couple episodes, but we're going to make it an official portion of the Fuck My Work Life podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And we are calling this We Drink Because We Work.
Yes.
And we're going to share with you what we're drinking on this particular day to get us through the day.
Do I have something fancy for you guys today?
Oh my gosh, he's the beer connoisseur, this guy.
Come on.
What you drinking, Jay?
I'm drinking a Coors Light Cattle.
Ooh, cattle.
Yes. It's a can shaped like a bottle.
Oh, I see.
Can, bottle, cattle.
Cattle or ban. That doesn't work.
Ban.
Ban.
I'm drinking Coors Light Ban.
A battle. What'd you call it? A battle? A
cattle.
A cattle.
You know, Coors Light, Rocky Mountain,
In a
cows.
bottle-shaped can.
In a bottle-shaped can because they were out of bottle-shaped bottles.
Do the mountains turn blue on this one?
They sure do. If you notice right here, if I can...
Oh, I see.
If I can
Wow.
turn your attention to Exhibit A. Exhibit
Okay.
A is an unopened bottle because I'm going to be empty soon.
Let me explain to everyone what I'm seeing here. It is a silver can with a bright blue mountain above the Coors emblem.
That's right.
All right.
Now-
And then Exhibit B.
If I can just make one correction for you. This here is not a silver can. This is a silver bullet.
Oh,
Okay? Coors Light.
Silver bullshit?
Bullet, Colorado Kool-Aid, Coors Latte, whatever you want to call it, just not silver can.
okay. Cattle.
Cattle. Yes, that's right. Now, Exhibit A, we have a full one.
Right.
You
Cold.
notice there's the Rocky Mountains here. That's like an actual picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a little drawing, I'm guessing a fifth grader did, on top of it. And they both blue. Even if you look on the side, it says cold lager filtered package jade.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Blue.
Blue.
On the empty one, we got Coors Light. It's dull. There's no blue.
Yeah. No blue
No
anywhere.
blue on the side.
It's like a completely different cattle.
Because when your beer's empty, it's sad.
It is very sad.
All right, I got to stop that accent. I'm going to offend someone.
I mean, weren't you like raised with that accent?
Shut up, woman.
Okay, so you're drinking Coors.
I am.
I am drinking a mango Hefeweizen from Garage Brewing, which is brewed in Murrieta and Temecula, California. This is actually one of my favorite beers. It's a good one. It's mango-y. It's Hefeweizen-y.
It's mango-y. It's heffy.
I quite enjoy it. It is just in a plain old regular can.
I feel like if I drank that, I should like twist up my mustache and get one of those like golf hats
And a fringy scarf, maybe.
yeah, and a fringy scarf, and
Are you saying my beer is hipster?
yeah, yeah.
I'm fine with that. I like hipster beer as long as it's not a goddamn IPA. I will never be drinking an IPA during this portion of the
IPA.
podcast.
Lot when I drink.
So cheers.
Cheers.
Happy podcast recording day.
Yep.
All right. And that was the We Drink Because We Work. If you guys want to join in on the fun, share with us what you're drinking on social media. And you could use the hashtag We Drink Because We Work and also the hashtag FMWLPod. Show us what you're drinking.
Or you could even suggest some beers for
Yeah.
us to try.
Yeah. Oh, and
If it is anything other than Coors, I will not be trying it. So
maybe
just know that.
Corona.
Well, yeah, I did the Coronita last week, but
I know. Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe you'll get adventurous in the coming weeks.
yeah.
I do want to just point out, though, that we are not sponsored by these beers yet. Hint, hint, hint. We just want to share what we're drinking, and so that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right. So we have kind of a theme episode today.
Yes.
This is our true crime episode.
Dun dun.
Bung bung. I love true crime. Most of the podcasts I listen to are true crime related. So we wanted to do kind of like a workplace crime. Like if you ever...
I also like true crime, but and some of the podcasts that I listen to are true crime, but I go through ebbs and flows of podcasts. Sometimes I'll listen to nothing but true crime podcasts, and then I'll listen to nothing but
interview type podcasts.
Like long form interview type podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, I was only listening to true crime podcasts when I first discovered podcasts, and then I was realizing that I was getting a little depressed and paranoid, and so I had to mix it up, and I started...
Still has to go outside of the house with her pepper spray
Always.
At all times.
I mean, that's just the sad fact of being a woman. You have to always be prepared.
Yeah.
So, what was I going to say? Oh, sorry, I just looked over, and our cat is climbing into the dog crates. She's such a nut job.
She's such a shit.
I lost my train of thought. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, just have to like throw in some non-true crime podcasts, which I have quite a few that I like. But anyway, our theme is workplace-related crime. Not somebody committing the crime, but somehow got caught up in some sort of crime at work.
Witnessing it or...
Yeah. So those are the stories we have for you today. So should we get started, or is there anything else you want to talk about before we get into our stories?
Isn't this podcast sponsored this week by Cooters? I thought Cletus was going to stop by.
But, okay.
No? All right. Well,
you're the cooter expert, so...
Wow. Me.
Okay.
Let's just go to the stories. Cheers, babe.
Cheers. Cheers, everyone.
She won't call me by any other name while we're on the podcast. I just called her babe. She will not do it.
You want me to call you babe back?
Don't call me babe.
Buster?
What?
Buster? Okay. You are going to go first. You're going to read the first story.
All right. My first story is called The Witness.
Bong, bong.
Wolf Dick. I met my husband when we both worked at the same movie theater in the early 90s. This is his story because I had the night off.
The night of.
We used to joke that we should get hazard pay for working the weekends because of the fights that would happen. This was just after the first Gulf War ended and lots of Marines had been brought back to the local base. When people go from war to back home, lots of aggression is still there.
Probably PTSD.
Yeah, a lot of that, but also it doesn't take war. You talk to any Marine and they'll say, like, when we go out, if we can't find someone to fight, we're going to fight each other.
Why?
Because it's like they're, especially here with the base so close, and that's where they do all their, like initial training and everything. Boot camp is there.
Is it just
they come out very aggressive?
Is it just so intense that like they have all this energy that they gotta get out, or?
Well, they're turned into like war dogs. They call them devil dogs. That's why they call them devil dogs.
No, I've never heard that.
You know that? You've never heard that?
No. I mean, I've heard the term devil dog. I didn't know that they called Marines that.
Yeah, they call Marines devil dogs.
Is that like any military or Marines?
No, it's just Marines that they call devil dogs. And I don't know exactly why they call them devil dogs, but they're just walking, talking, fighting machines.
Oh.
That's what they are.
Great.
Anywho, drink. This was a Saturday night. 2 young Marines were leaving the mall and walking towards the theater when a guy strung out on meth, that's always good. Our town was the meth capital of the world for a bit. Tried to rob them.
I feel like every town claims that
I know.
At some point. They're meth capital. I think America's just
kind of sad. Yeah.
America's just the meth capital of the world.
They tried to get away from him, but he shot at both of them, killing one of them. Jesus Christ. Killing one of them. He then attempted to carjack someone in the parking lot, but they fought back. He was able to get the next car.
Ugh.
My husband has been in the box office and had witnessed everything. He had tried to render aid, but he could see that it was a mortal wound.
Oh, that's horrible.
A news channel came by to interview someone about it, and even though I was told not to, I did talk to them and say that I was not there when it happened.
That's so sad.
Jeez. Okay, then.
Yep. How horrible to witness that, though. Like, ugh. You just think you're going to work. It's just a regular night, maybe a couple fights, and then Ugh, to witness that, that's really sad.
I'm actually quite surprised that the meth head was able to shoot someone. Usually they take everything apart and can't put it back together. So I figured maybe he was walking around with like pieces of his gun.
Broken gun. Well, maybe he wasn't.
Because he took it apart and couldn't put it back together.
Yeah. Like, I guess he was trying to get money for more meth? Or just strung out and crazy? Very sad. I don't like that one.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, this next one is titled The Wedding Alibi. Being a wedding filmmaker for many years, you'd think I've seen it all. No, wait. I have seen it all. It amazes me what my cameras actually capture. Some unnoticed while filming, but revealed when I go to edit. There are those wedding parties who drink too much and then want to perform before my camera, thinking they'll be the hit of the reception. Many women have exposed way too much in their camera dancing routines. Drunk weddings. Makes me think there must have been an underwear shortage at some point in time.
Well, that's weddings. I mean,
you don't wear underwear to weddings?
No, but
is that a thing?
Lot of chicks don't. I don't want the underwear lines in my dress.
I guess. And then there are those lovely guests who drink and talk a little too much when I'm filming interviews. One such father of the bride who had 2 lovely young ladies in each arm who started telling me about affairs he's had. I couldn't believe my ears as his wife, the mother of the bride, was just outside the room partying with other guests. Good Lord. Then there was the mother of the groom who kept calling her son's new bride by his ex-wife's name.
Nice.
None of this footage was ever seen in the wedding film once delivered. Well, I would hope not. Oh, the secrets I've kept to protect the guilty.
How much money did this guy make off of those secrets?
Right? He just sends them little extortion letters. But one time my footage was used in the opposite way. I had finished filming a wedding and reception for a very lovely couple. Nothing out of the ordinary as far as all the many things I do and film during a wedding shoot. Several weeks later, I get a strange call from one of the attending guests from this wedding. She had an odd request. She wanted to know if I had any footage of her son who was with them at this wedding. She described him and what he was wearing and about where they were sitting at the ceremony and at the reception. She said her son, who was about 30, went with her and her husband to this wedding, so I was able to locate her son sitting in the church during the ceremony and also sitting at the table with them at the reception. Then she explains to me what has transpired and the reason for her call. The day after this lovely wedding, her son was pulled over by the police, plural, with guns drawn. He was arrested on the spot for kidnapping and rape. The victim described him and gave the cops his address and description of his car. Once arrested, she picked him out in a lineup. Dude was busted, locked up with no bail. But wait, the rape victim said this took place, you guessed it, during the time this wedding was taking place. His house is 50 miles away. No way this guy could have slipped away between the ceremony and reception, drive 100 miles, kidnap someone, take them to his house and rape them, and then return to the reception in 30 minutes. The police did not accept his parents' alibi for their son, that he was with them at this wedding the whole time, so they lawyered up. So the lawyer says, does anyone have photos or video? Bingo, there was a videographer filming. I was then asked to provide copies of the footage showing that he was really there and that I did really film this on the date and time, yada, yada, yada. Signed an affidavit swearing to God and country I've spoken the truth. The mother said she'd keep me informed. This poor dude was locked up for 4 months, his reputation ruined, lost his girlfriend, lost his job, lost his car. Our so-called rape victim had missed several hearings. Her lawyer learned about this footage, so she knew there was no proof. Not good for her case now. A trial date came, and no show for our rape victim. Turns out that morning she stole a car and fled the state. So my sharp filming turned out to be this dude's alibi and a ticket to freedom, and time to start to rebuild his life again.
Okay.
Next story.
This story is called The Glasses. This crime story was when I worked at an optometrist office. We dealt with Medicare patients who would come to our office to get their glasses made. The Medicare glasses were made by prisoners. After losing a lot of the frames that were sent to the prison to have the lenses put in, we started taking the temples, otherwise known as the earpieces, off and keeping them at the office and just sending the frames. One year, a police detective came into our office asking questions because one of the prisoners had escaped and our business card was found in his cell. They were trying to find out if he had been a patient of ours in the past or how he was connected to us in our office. We explained that the prisoners worked in the lab at the prison that supplied Medicare lenses for some of our patients. My boss, the optometrist, joking around, said maybe he was planning on coming back here and looking for all of the temples for the glasses he had stolen. I thought that was pretty funny.
Did he say that to the detective?
I hope so.
That's funny. Why would they steal the glasses? Are they making like shivs out of them?
Well, probably the earpieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would definitely make shivs out of those. They would make something out of them.
That's creepy.
Because they're already long and skinny.
Yeah.
And they make shivs out of fucking toothbrushes.
Yeah.
So.
Creepy.
Yeah. So we can't just say that because they were prisoners, they were making shivs out of them, because that would be the wrong thing to do. They could definitely have been making sewing needles.
Maybe.
To sew ropes to escape out of their, from their sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or using them to pick the locks to get out of their cells.
That's right.
Yeah. So the next email we have is entitled The Chef. In 1989 and 1990, I lived in Hawaii on the island of Oahu and Honolulu. I was lucky enough because I had previously worked in the spa at a hot springs resort that I was able to get a job at the Honolulu Club. So I just want to put out there that I am keeping the name of this company because it no longer exists, and this was over 30 years ago. So with permission of the author, we are using the actual name of this.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. Okay, so anyway, I was able to get a job at the Honolulu Club, which is a very exclusive social dinner and athletic club for wealthy and well-connected people on the island and celebrities. In fact, I met Tom Selleck the first day on the job, which was a definite plus. So 89-90, that was like Magnum PI heyday.
Yeah.
So can you imagine like Magnum PI like walking in there?
His hairy ass chest and his mustache.
That sweet, sweet mustache.
I wonder if he drove the Ferrari in.
Had the like Hawaiian print shirt on with the short shorts.
Yeah. If I was Magnum PI, I would dress like that everywhere I went. That would become my persona.
Yeah. You're just always Magnum PI.
Always. Loafers. Sockless loafers, khakis,
short
Hawaiian
shorts.
shirt, mustache, fucking bouffant, like curly hair.
The 80s were the best.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so one of the perks most loved about the club was the restaurant and lounge, and we were able to attract really good chefs. At the time I worked there, we had a chef I heard was a tough customer to work for, but was extremely good at his job. Since I worked from 4:30 p.m. until the club closed at 1:30 a.m., after the restaurant closed, the chef would practice new recipes, particularly sauces, and I was the lucky one who got to try them and critique them for him, so he and I became good friends. To get into the club, which was on the 6th, 7th, and 8th floors of the building, you had to take an elevator from the street up to the 7th floor. When you stepped off the elevator, if you turned right, that was the door where the restaurant workers entered the kitchen, and if you turned left, you came to the front desk where you had to check in, which is where I worked. One particularly busy night, with a lot of people coming and going past the desk and on and off the elevator, one of the restaurant workers came running out of the kitchen door yelling and ran past my desk and down the hallway to the outside stairway. Immediately after, several other workers came from the kitchen yelling and screaming, and pandemonium ensued. Before I knew it, there were armed policemen everywhere.
Hell yeah.
Crazy. Nothing this exciting has ever happened where I work. It turned out that this particular disgruntled worker had gotten mad at the chef and pulled a gun on him in the kitchen and then pistol whipped him with it.
Oh!
At least he didn't shoot him, I guess. After which he ran out the door and past my desk.
Well, maybe he was a meth head and he took his pistol apart like we were talking about earlier, and he couldn't shoot him. All he could do was pistol whip.
Maybe Honolulu was also the meth capital of the...
I hear it's pretty bad there.
It's bad everywhere. Blah, 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 blah. They didn't catch the guy or find the gun, so for several weeks after the incident, I worked with an armed guard standing next to me behind the desk, and there were armed guards in the kitchen because the guy had claimed he was going to come back and kill the chef. Several nights after the incident, this disgruntled worker called me at the front desk to explain to me from his point of view what happened, and that he was provoked because he didn't want me to think badly of him. Coming down off his meth high.
Yeah. Oh, shit, I gotta
apologize to the front desk woman.
I gotta call that front desk clerk and just let her know that, like, I meant nothing towards her. I was just really fucked up.
I don't think they ever caught him because he being a local and the police also being locals, I don't think anybody ever looked very hard. A plus for me was that the armed guard who worked next to me, shall we say, looked very good in his uniform.
And there you have it.
And I ended up going on a few dates with him at the TGA Fridays downstairs from the club after work. And that's my crime at work story.
That's like the worst start to a porn ever. Like some pandemonium, and then the damsel in distress at the front desk has to have a armed guard next to her, whose name is Buck.
Buck.
And Buck likes to fuck.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Should I go to the next story now?
I guess.
My story is called The Package. I have burp.
Oh.
I have burp that will not come out.
You want me to pound you on the back?
No, I'm okay.
Like a little baby?
No, as soon as I start talking, I'm going to fucking burp, though.
Yeah.
I know it. Anyway, The Package. Hey, guys.
There you go.
It is. The Package. Hey, guys. I want to start off by saying I love your podcast and look forward to every Wednesday so I can listen in to your new episodes. Aww.
Thank you. Oh, that was lovely.
Well, you know.
Thank you. We love you too.
We do. Well, I have a true crime story. No dead bodies or crazy exciting car chases.
Boo.
Sorry, but here it goes. Oh, I mean, what the fuck did you even write it for?
Yeah, we don't want to hear it. No,
Yeah,
just kidding.
so stupid.
We want to hear all of them.
I worked at a store that had a shipping station. People would bring in their packages and we would help enter their information and print the shipping label, then set the package aside for pickup. One random day of the week, a young man came in with a small to medium-sized package. He's going to be so mad. As I started taking in his information.
Everything a porn story to you?
As I started taking in his information, I noticed he was acting off and looked really nervous. My spidey senses were going off, and I knew there was something that probably wasn't good or legal inside that box. So I took it home and smoked it. No? Okay. He kept stumbling over his address and even his own phone number and name. He started sweating a little and fidgeting a lot. I acted like I didn't notice and finished up his label, charged him, and gave him his receipt. As soon as he left, I called my assistant manager over and told her that I was suspicious about the package and everything I noticed. She decided to open it, and inside was a nice big brick of weed. Nothing bomb, just a dry brick of weed.
Like, not bomb weed?
Yeah.
Not, what are they, kush? Not kush
Yeah,
weed?
not the sticky, icky.
I think that's, like, are you allowed to just open packages
No.
if you work in those places?
No.
Shouldn't you just call, like, the police or something?
Well, I'm guessing as we go through this story, they're going to call the police.
Tape it back up.
Yada, yada, yada. But you know they took this shit.
Or they just,
I mean,
took the weed. And
bad
what
weed is
package?
bad. Shitty weed is not good to smoke, but it's good for like making brownies and stuff. I'm guessing.
You've heard?
So a friend has told me.
Ah, okay.
She called the police. Oh, look at that.
Oh, there you go. Wait, didn't she commit basically, what is it, like a federal offense?
Oh, yeah.
the
Opening
package?
someone else's mail.
I wonder if they
Yeah.
taped it back up before they called the police.
Yeah, no. Police come and there's like scotch tape wrapped around it, like on a skit show or something.
Yeah.
Where they just
a big
took the
ball
roll of scotch tape. And was like, hey, I think there's weed in this. She called the police, and I had to drive over to their local office to look at pictures of possible suspects. He wasn't in any of the pictures, so there wasn't much I could do to help. I saw the guy around our shopping center a couple times, but he never came back in to ask why his package wasn't received. Probably more a fuck my life moment for him than a fuck my work life moment for me. But this is it. My true crime work story. Love you guys.
Aw.
Aww.
Love you too. I like that one.
Yeah.
I want to know. I need more details. I want to know what really happened to that
yeah,
weed.
I know. Yeah.
Like,
I'm guessing it
The
went
package was
up
kind
in
of
smoke.
like, oh, ba-doom-tsh. I remember a story growing up. Like a friend of my brother's, they were trying to like basically entrap him, so the cops sent him a FedEx package.
Your brother?
No, a friend of his.
Oh.
Full of weed, long before weed was legal. And, so they show up, like FedEx or whatever shows up at this guy's door, and because he signs for the package, not knowing what's in it, basically they arrested him for possession or something.
Oh, Jesus fucking
So I think he went to jail. But now that I'm thinking, that's probably just a bullshit story he told everyone, because why would they do that?
Yeah,
I mean,
they can't do that. Like,
they can't, but cops are also crooked.
yeah,
But,
but in
this particular guy, I'm sure was lying.
Yeah. Where you grew up, I don't think you're dealing with corrupt fucking cops.
This wasn't where, this was after he moved away up to like Humboldt County.
Oh.
The weed capital of California.
That's right.
There's some crazy shit that goes on up there, though.
What do they call? Oh, the Emerald Triangle. Yeah, I know.
Isn't there's that whole documentary of
Yeah,
people being murdered and they disappear when they go up there to work the like weed farms, and
yeah.
So shit gets weird up there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like just signing for a package that you didn't know what was in it get you arrested. I don't know. That seems far-fetched.
That's not that can't
hold up in court. They could probably arrest you for it, but I don't think they could keep you.
It's just like if like a cop pulls you over for a taillight out and you look at him and say, "Fuck you, get the fuck out of my face, give me my fix-it ticket," and go. They can arrest you and they can take you down.
They just can't
downtown in quotations. But what they charge you with, they know it won't hold up in court. Yeah. They're just charging you with something to make your day difficult.
Right.
You know, because it's easier for them to make your day difficult than for you to spout off at the mouth and make them look like assholes.
Yeah. I would never do that to a cop. Cops terrify me.
I'm not terrified by them, but I treat them like normal people, like regular, unless they're completely fucking crooked. But they're just regular people. I don't know. I think you can. I think some of them you can tell. Like, I've watched a lot of movies.
I've seen a lot of TV. Well, you are the expert.
I just always picture like corrupt cops as like those greasy Andrew Dice Clay looking motherfuckers.
There's a lot of. I feel like. On SVU, they always come across like crooked cops.
Yeah, well, it's SVU, so it's New York, and it's like, hey,
that's where all the crooked cops go.
Hey, suck my fucking balls! Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you guys have any more, if this sparked some memories of any times you came across some like crime happening or whatever while you're working, send them those stories.
Yeah,
still
definitely.
Love to hear them. We're still looking for some epic prank stories. We've got a few of them.
Romance stories.
We need a few more romance stories.
I know there's romance stories out there.
There's gotta be.
It doesn't even have to be yours. You can, because we're so anonymous here, you can tell someone else's story. And if you use their name, we'll just take that out. Or we'll just change little bits of the story so you're not, found out.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think that's it. So remember, email us at fmwlpod@gmail.com with all of your work stories, whether they are fitting in the themes we're looking for or not. We want to hear them all.
Yeah. And I was thinking, I know I brought this up to you, but I was thinking we should start asking people for like the service industry stories, because those are the best, like waiters, waitresses, bartenders, stuff like dealing with
we've gotten a couple of them.
The drunk public and just the asshole public of like waiters and waitresses who people think because they're sitting at your table, you have to basically bend over backwards for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So any kind of workplace stories, we want to hear them. You can follow along with all of the fun on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at FMWL Pod. We try to post a lot of content in those places. Yeah. So check those out. And I think that's it. If you want to share what you're drinking to get through your work week, remember to use the hashtag #WeDrinkBecauseWeWork and FMWL Pod. Thank you, everyone, for listening and sending in your stories.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And keep sending them in.
We love you.
She's weird.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.